Special School Building Committee. I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there's no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we're providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. To access Zoom, please refer to the agenda or the city's website for meeting link. To join by phone, dial 1-929-205-6099. The meeting ID is 874504299188. The password is 679997. We are also providing public notice of the necessary information for us accessing the meeting. We'd previously given notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting through public postings. Instructions have also been provided on the City of Nashua's website at www.nashuanh.gov and publicly noticed at City Hall and the Hunt Memorial Library. We're providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If anyone has a problem accessing the meeting via phone or channel 99, please call 603-821-2049 and they will help you connect. We're adjourning the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting via the methods mentioned above, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call. Let's start the meeting by taking the roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd.
Present. Yes, I can hear you. I am practicing social distancing in accordance with the governor's order, and I'm alone.
Okay. Alderwoman Harriet Gathright.
I am present. I'm alone in this room. I can hear you, and I am practicing social distancing.
Alderwoman Clee.
I am here. I'm alone. I'm practicing social distancing, and I can hear everyone.
Okay. Alderwoman Lou. I do not see present yet. Okay. Alderwoman Wilshire.
I'm present. I am alone and I can hear everyone and I am social distancing.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Bishop has not yet joined us. Ms. Brown.
I am here. I am alone in the room. I'm practicing social distancing.
Okay. Ms. Giulio, not yet joined us. Mr. Garino is here. I'm practicing social distancing and I'm alone in this room. Ms. Raymond.
I'm here. I can hear everybody. I'm practicing social distancing. I'm not alone. My children are around. They'll be bouncing in and out throughout the meeting, undoubtedly.
Okay. We have a quorum. We also have with us Mr. Smith, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Ouellette, and correct me if I mispronounce your name, Ms. Muscoe Harvey. And I probably mangled that, right?
Misco, the Harvey is where she works.
Misco, I'm sorry, Harvey. I thought it was a hyphen. I apologize.
No problem.
This is Misco. Okay. And Mr. Lemarier.
All right. Ms. Giulio and Alderman Lou contacted me and they were unable to attend this evening. Okay. So If there are no objections, I will waive the readings of the July 6th, 2020 previous meeting of the Joint Special School Building Committee and place them on file. Seeing no objections, so clerk would record that. Remarks by chairman. We're going to try and make the meeting quick. We have several contracts for Fairgrounds and Penachuk that we need to get through so we can keep these people busy. And they are moving along smartly. Sean, did you want to say anything?
Yes, please. So note that you received 2 packages this week. The original one came out, I believe, Monday late or Tuesday morning. And then you should have received the second one yesterday afternoon, 1:30ish. Looks like everything was a lot of the older women, older men's packages went to the Nashua.gov email addresses. So the other thing I want to bring up is this is regarding the lockers at Fairgrounds Middle School. So we're eventually going to replace all those. They've actually been removed from the we call the commons areas in those 3 classroom wings and are currently sitting in the gymnasium. I've notified the police department, the fire department, Public Works, and a couple of other organizations that those are available. Those that are not in good shape, we're just going to take straight to the landfill, but there are quite a few of them that are still in pretty good shape. And if any of you are familiar with other organizations, particularly nonprofit organizations that might be interested in those, then have them just contact me and we'll arrange for them to get those lockers probably later on in the fall once the new lockers have shown up. And that's all I had.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I've gone looking. I did not get the presentation either Tuesday or yesterday. I do have the original packet that was sent, but doesn't have the presentation in it. I just wanted somewhere something got stuck. So
Yeah, I think that the presentations got sent to the city hall email address for the alderman, and for some reason, then none of them went through. I didn't get it that way either. I had to beat up Sean. Well, actually, I got the original one from Jamie when we were doing all this work in the winter. But
I'll send them out again tomorrow, so you'll have them after the fact, but at least you'll have them.
yeah, and they'll be on the screen tonight when they're giving their report, so it should be easy to follow. Okay, well, with that, that's a good lead in to the architect's report from Harriman. Jamie?
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I apologize for those of you that didn't get it early. I even scrambled to get it done a little earlier than I usually would just to make sure that everybody had it on time. With that being said, I will go ahead and bring it up on screen and walk through, and I think you'll still be able to see. Oh, my host has been disabled. Host sharing.
Hey, Jim. Give him access so he can share his screen, will you? Thanks. Jim, Jeff?
It looks like maybe I won't be
Sorry
able to
about
share.
that.
Oh,
You have it now.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. I was getting all cryptic things. No, I don't have that capability. Yeah, he wants you to use full screen. So if you do the presentation, yeah, there you go.
Okay. So I will. There we go. Tonight we'll talk kind of in the usual fashion. We'll talk about the design milestones and updates. You can see that I've narrowed that down to Penachuk and the new middle school, since Fairgrounds is in construction. Clearly, if any design updates were applicable, I would bring those up for Fairgrounds. But today, I think we're just going to talk about Penachuk and the new middle school as far as the architect's reports go. And then we will go ahead and look at the project schedule again. So over at Penachuk, The current milestone that we reached, I guess it's 2 weeks ago, last week, was the design development has been issued to Harvey. That's kind of like 60% through the design. And they are in the process of looking through that to come up with their estimates on the design development set. I don't really have any imagery to show on the design development today. I shared quite a bit over the past 2 presentations that I had shared. There was stuff at the library, stuff at the STEM and STEAM room, the kind of the common areas. So today we won't see too much on. We won't see too much on the Pennachuck School, but I do have some things that we haven't been able to see for a while for the new middle school. So I'll work my way there. Upcoming milestones is we're looking to get a planning board submission going pretty soon. Right now we're scheduled to try to get in for August. There is some time there, so if that did slide a month, it wouldn't impact the schedule at all. So I'm not sure that it's going to. I just know that, you know, there is a potential if it did slide. There's no harm there. So designs over at the new middle school. First, I'll start off with the project milestones. We're going to be, or we did issue schematic design to Harvey this week. And some of those developments are kind of I guess it'd be like a 30% progress where we kind of show, maybe not even quite 30, but we kind of show the plans with a little further refinement than what we've seen in the concept design. Some massing of the project, putting in actual wall types, fixtures start to be put into the project. And so I'll share some of that today and some of the imagery that I bring up. Moving ahead, we're looking at design development in October, and then planning board submission would be come November time frame. So here's kind of a wide range exterior massing perspective. I do have one that's zoomed in on the next screen a little bit closer to the main entry. But as you're looking at it, you're facing the front of the building, for the front where the main entrance is. As you can see, it says Nashua Middle School there. That's where everybody will be entering the school when they get dropped off. The bus entrance is actually on the right side of this image, not quite visible in this view. You're seeing to the left, you're seeing the classroom wings, 3 stories in that upper grade level, and then you don't see it, but behind there's, you know, that back wing, there's a fourth story level going down below, as we've discussed in the past. If you're looking to the, actually, I'm going to zoom into the next screen. Actually, can we see my cursor, Alderman Dowd? Okay.
I can.
Great. So the main entry is here. We are flanked by the admin wings, which I'll show a little bit of plans today on that. This portion back here, you can see almost the basketball hoops in the background. So that's the gymnasium. Cafeteria is behind that entry area. You can see a stairwell here, a couple of stairwells over here and here. This is the art corner here, and this part of the Unified Arts wing, and then there's more Unified Arts down behind this area as well. So I'll move on to the next screen to show a little bit closer up. You can start to see there's some windows added into this space. A canopy over the main entry. You can see a little bit of materials there where you see some brick and then some other materials. It'd be like looking at some different types of, it's called like a composite concrete panel and some composite metal panels. And those will be refined as we start to get pricing back from Harvey to make sure that we're falling in alignment with the estimates and budgets. I wanted to give a kind of a big plan, first kind of that first level plan, the main entry level plan, and just kind of identify where things are landing. I don't think any of this is a surprise to anybody. I've tried to give little samples of here and there. We looked at the performance space last meeting or 2 meetings ago. You got the cafeteria starting to be laid out in the yellow area. Actually, I'll go by my list here. So admin, guidance, and nurse, which I'll zoom into a little bit in a couple of slides, is identified in the red area. This section right here is that main entrance we were looking at a moment ago in the massing models. I pointed out the art wing over on the other screen. So that's the Unified Arts green area, goes into the family and consumer science, health, chorus, band room. We have woodworking, STEM and robotics, and then again, the performance space we had talked about in a couple meetings ago. We have mechanical space in the back here, back of house. We talked a little bit about the locker room behind the gymnasium last time we had talked about the plans. And then off to the right, you have the classroom wings, which we've shared a little bit before. You can start to see, I should say the brown areas are like mechanical types of rooms that support each one of those wings and levels. You can start to see in this plan, although it may be smaller on your screen, and I will zoom in to one of the wings, but you can start to see some of that refinement where we've added toilet rooms and some bookcases and cabinetry, and that sort of thing. So I'll move on so we can see those a little closer. If we zoom into the admin wing, you can see the secure vestibule you come into when you walk into the building, transaction window to the right, we're served by the administration and reception desk, admin waiting, and then offices for the different aspects of the school. There's a records room, conference room, there's a work and mail room, some toilets to serve that area. Also a teacher's lounge off to the side here with a mother's room and an additional staff toilet that serves that space right there. On the, kind of the other side that was kind of snipped off before, if you were walking in, it would be to the left. You have the guidance suite, which also has a conference room, some offices, a toilet, and then a nurse suite even beyond a little further than that with an exam, recovery, toilet, washer, dryer space. And like I said, I wanted to show you a little bit of one of the wings. I just kind of picked the wing that was in an orientation that was easy to see. And each wing, there is some similarity in almost all the wings, but there are some differences in like special ed wings where they need some quiet rooms and things like that. That's not represented in this particular view. And I don't have one particularly to show today. I'd like to get that a little further refined, meeting with the special ed directors and other folks before I share that specific layout. But some of that is shown in the plans. You could have saw on that bigger plan to represent some of the rooms that will be there. They just might need a little more refinement as we progress during design. But what you can here see is an assortment of classrooms, some bookcases, teacher wardrobes, toilet rooms. There's larger toilet rooms that are kind of flanked in the middle of that hub of the classroom wings, but also some support restrooms further into the space. Team commons and student commons, which we've been working on at the Pennachuck and Fairgrounds schools. Those kind of have those same assortment of spaces to collaborate with the different teams, whether it's students or staff or teachers. Science room up in that larger classroom there, so they have like a lab space. And then this particular floor is the first level, the entry level, has an elevator that goes down to the lower level, lower ground floor level. The ones above this wouldn't actually have that elevator, but you can see there's supply closets, electrical rooms, and janitors closets. Lockers have been populated in the classroom wings, and then a mechanical room that supports each kind of wing and level. That's kind of the design aspect that I wanted to share today. And then the schedule, again, is here. And I'm not, if you did receive the schedule, there might be a correction that needs to be made, that the Pennachuck construction start was slid into the depths of January. And I've been told that I have to bring shovels if we start at that point. So I decided I didn't want to have to purchase that many shovels. So we slid it over just a little bit to coordinate with Harvey's actual construction schedule. It was just a misprint on my original design there. You can kind of see where we are here on this red line. We're in construction on Fairgrounds. We've just reached that end of the design development for Pennachuck and moving into construction documents. Like I mentioned, we had submitted documents to Harvey last week. And then the new middle school, we just finished our schematic design and we're moving into design development now. And then we will keep moving that along and to get into construction documents a little bit later. So that is the architect report.
Okay, I had talked to, now, what you've got laid out now, you have met with staff and central office and all the department heads and everything to lay out the school. And I talked to Sean at some point, we probably ought to have a more detailed, with a joint special, not tonight, but on the new school design. And then a meeting, I'd like to have a meeting with a full Board of Ed. If we can figure out how to do that. So that everybody is on board before we get to the construction documents, because as I mentioned before, when we get to the construction documents, changes are problematic because they cost. We'll be figuring that out as we go. Jamie?
Yeah, thank you, Alderman Dodd. I just wanted to mention that, yes, we have met with those parties you mentioned, and we're not done meeting with them. You know, like I showed like the kitchen, for instance. We haven't had a full round discussion with the kitchen director and that to lay out the full kitchen layout. We have a proposed layout based on a kitchen consultant's recommendation, but it's not refined. It's a schematic level. It's not a design. It's not that next level. And then there's still, like I had mentioned, we still want to meet again with the special ed director and other staff members, and like we did at Fairgrounds, we'll still have presentations to the staff so we can take on questions and whatnot. But we definitely need another round. This is just kind of a schematic level. It gets the spaces in and some of those broken out spaces that we really didn't show in concept.
So even though we have a majority of the Board of Ed on this joint special, I would still like to have a meeting with the entire Board of Ed so they can sprinkle holy water on the plan. And then there wouldn't be any concerns going forward that it wasn't meeting all the requirements of the school department.
Absolutely, that's not a problem. I would suggest we get a little more, maybe a couple more meetings in with some of the other staff members so that we can come to that meeting with information provided also from the perspective of the staff and student, or staff and teachers.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to lay it out on the table so the Board of Ed members knew that they were going to get their detailed look. If anybody wants to borrow this 18 feet of documents anytime, they're more than happy to come over with a truck and they'll let you look at them in detail. But I think we can probably get it down to something reasonable on a PowerPoint presentation later.
Absolutely.
But they are interesting drawings, by the way. And all the materials, I think we need to work that out before we actually get to a final presentation as to. So, all right. Anything else, Jamie?
That's it for me. I can, if anybody has any questions or comments or concerns, I'd be more than welcome to address them.
Anyone? I don't see anybody. Oh, Alderman Clee.
Thank you. It's actually just kind of more of a question than anything. I love the design. I think it's wonderful. It was more of the outside structure when I saw the glass where the stairwells were and so on. That kind of gave me a little bit of a pause as to security and so on. Is that an issue with security? And I would think possibly Mr. Smith or even Chairman Dowd would be able to answer something on that nature too.
Yeah, I'll start, and then if somebody has
Okay.
other comments, I'm obviously more than welcome to hear them.
Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, there's windows all around the building, and there's clearly there's always some level of concern to having windows, but we can look at bringing the level up a little bit on those so that it makes it more of a challenge to get in. Visibility is good too. I mean, we don't always want to close everything up into a box. We want to make sure that people can be seen as well, but with a level of aspect of keeping people secure. So we'll review that too, and based on that comment, and move ahead that way.
I think that there are security issues both ways, but if you notice the high schools, they're all glass.
May I just follow up? It wasn't so much of my fear of people getting in as much as there's no place for those that are in that, because it looked like it was a full glass stairwell to the outside. It looked like there'd be no place to, I don't want to say so much hide, but yes, I guess the word is hide.
Yeah,
If there
it's
was
one
that
corner.
situation.
I'm very sorry
Okay.
about that. It's one corner. It's not the whole stairwell. So there is spaces inside of each one of those stairwells to take refuge out of the way. And not only that, but I know that we are looking at putting laminated glass and stuff on the, at the access points at the doors. And some of the doors have bulletproof glass and at the vestibules and stuff like that. So security is definitely thought about, and we are reviewing the plans with the Director of Safety and Security for the Nashua School District as well.
Plus
Perfect. Thank you.
the designs that they're following and their guidelines. They've done a number of schools, and a lot of the ideas that they've come up with are what's being done nationwide in schools. And so,
Yep. And we also have met and will continue to meet with police and fire to review those sort of things as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
yeah. In fact, Jamie, I think I heard, and I'm not sure who I heard it from. I think it was actually emergency management. You know, all that group that we got together some time ago when we first started, police, fire, planning, 18 other people, that we ought to have another one of those meetings sometime soon.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Sean, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Oh, I think everybody covered it. Just for the stairwells, we might look at translucent panels or something like that, at least on the lower half of each level. Just an idea. But we're still early in the design.
Yeah. And we'll talk to police and emergency management and those people, security. Okay. Construction managers report. Harvey, who's going to run with the ball?
I'll start with it. Good evening, folks. Thanks for meeting with us tonight. Just an update on where we are on the status of Pennachuck and Fairgrounds. As Jamie Willett said, we are underway with construction in earnest between selective demolition and asbestos abatement is ongoing inside the school right now. The smallest population ever, so we try to get as much done as we can during the summertime. We're off to a little bit of a slow start on the site and foundations. We are waiting for approval from the state on our stormwater pollution plan. It has been submitted. I'm hoping that comes through next week so we can actually start the exterior foundation work and getting the foundations in the ground for the portables. Foundation, Ken can probably take this a little further than I can. The precast foundations for the portables are in fabrication, so that's ongoing. Team's been busy handling submittals and writing contracts based on the awards that you folks approved. I can say that we have finished the bidding process with all the subcontractors for Fairgrounds. We are compiling what's called a guaranteed maximum price estimate, which then gets converted into a contract. I can say with a good bit of surety that we will be at or below the number that was originally budgeted for this project with the guaranteed maximum price. We had some favorable pricing, and we're just making sure that we've got everything accounted for once and only once. So we're doing a lot of scope reviews, that type of thing. I'm hoping that by next week that we can send a draft out to the folks from Harriman, Alderman Dowd, and Sean Smith for an early review. And then once that's done, then I can package it all in a bow and have the final portion of the contract prepared for Chairman Alderman Dow's signature. So we're hoping to get the review portion done, or at least out, so it can be reviewed next week. That's my goal, and get this behind us just as quick as possible. Regarding Pennachuck, again, our team's been working closely with Jamie and his team in terms of getting through the initial submittals that we needed for materials in order that we can get that stuff into fabrication. We have a schedule that really shows us starting in earnest on the vestibule renovation the 1st of August. I know we've been in communication and contact with all of the utility companies, getting them lined up so that they know when they need to be there. And we'll be starting the site work approximately the same time. So the work and the contracts that you folks approved over the last couple of meetings have been put in place, and you'll start seeing some workmen start showing up there in a little bit more than a week away. With that, I'll take whatever questions before we get into the awards that we have tonight.
Yes, Mrs. Raymond.
Thank you. So I'm really excited to get started on the vestibule project. I know there's a lot of exciting things going into the school, but the vestibules are like my number one priority. And I'm curious, if we were to start school on time in the building with some sort of hybrid schedule, which we haven't decided yet, and we won't decide till August 3rd. So, but if we were to go that route, will the vestibule be complete before Labor Day?
The vestibule will be operational, less the window, because the lead time on that, it won't show up until October. We will be talking with the principal of that school to see how he wants to set it up and create the opening. And the only other thing that's still a ways out would be the cabinet unit heater that gets suspended in the ceiling.
Yep.
We would prep the opening, finish the drywall, and once the kids are out of school one day, we'd go in and hook it up.
Okay.
Other than that, we get up to make sure that we will have a plan in process. Once we get a little further along, we'll meet with staff and make sure that starting school won't be an issue, whatever you guys decide on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay.
We'll turn it over to Ken. We can talk about the awards that we have for you tonight.
Okay, Ken?
Thank you, Carl. As Carl mentioned, you guys had previously approved some packages. Tonight, we do have 6 packages for you to review and approve. Again, if anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to jump in anytime and I'll do my best to answer your questions. So the first package that we'll be reviewing tonight is the recommendation for award for plumbing and HVAC at Fairgrounds. We received 5 bids for this scope of work. The successful bidder, the chosen bidder was the low bid, and we're recommending Eckhart and Johnson for a total of $955,862.00.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to authorize the approval of the Eckhart and Johnson from Hooksett, New Hampshire for plumbing and HVAC at Fairgrounds in the amount of $955,862?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Alderman Wilshire made the motion. Are there any questions? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
On the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Lou. Not here, I'm sorry.
No.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0. I didn't miss
Great.
anybody today. No, I don't think I did.
Nope.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Ken?
Thank you. The next package we'll be reviewing is the glass and glazing package for Fairgrounds Middle School. There were 3 bids received, and the recommended bidder is Marvel Glass of Merrimack, New Hampshire. They were the low bid for a total of $181,530.00.
Okay, I'll need a motion to approve the glass and glazing contract to Marvel Glass of Merrimack, New Hampshire in the amount of $181,530.
So moved.
So moved by Alderman Garthright. Any questions, discussion? Okay. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Okay, on the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Sorry, yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Excellent. Ken? Yeah, you're on mute, Ken.
Sorry about that. The next package is the doors, frames, and hardware package for Fairgrounds Middle School. There were 3 bids received, and we're recommending Merrimack Building Supply for a total value of $95,075.00.
Give the amount again?
$95,075.00.
All right, I must be looking at the wrong one. Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. All right, so we'll need a motion to award the contract on doors, frames, and hardware for the Fairgrounds Middle School to Merrimack Building Supply of Merrimack, New Hampshire, in the amount of $95,075.
So
I'll
moved.
make that motion.
Toss up. I guess I heard Heather first. Mrs. Raymond. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, would the clerk please call a roll?
On the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright. You're still on mute.
Yes.
Thank you. Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
I was concerned, Ken, was I have another award for doors, frames, and hardware at Fairgrounds in a lower amount. Was that?
Correct. If you recall, we had to release the phase 1 doors, frames, and hardware. We previously had that approved.
Oh, okay, so that's one that we previously, all right, we'll get to that in a minute. What's
Correct.
the next one, Ken?
Okay, the next package we'll be reviewing is the drywall and framing. We received 3 bids, and we are recommending VPS Drywall, Nashua, New Hampshire. They were the low bid for a total value of $155,838.00.
All right, I'll need a motion to approve the awarding of the framing and GWB to framing GWB work of VPS Drywall of Nashua, New Hampshire, in the amount of $155,838.
I'll make that motion. Alderman Dowd?
Alderman Wilshire made the motion. Are there any questions, concerns? Seeing none, would the clerk please call a roll?
On the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Excellent. Okay, Ken?
Thank you. Next package we'll be reviewing is the roofing package. We received 3 bidders. The recommended bidder is not the low bid, but after performing the scope reviews, it was found that they had the more complete scope of work. So we are recommending Academy Roofing of Ringe, New Hampshire for a value of $139,750.00. Included in this price is also an allowance for $1,100 for walkway pads on the roof. So if that work is required, that would be tracked on time and material, and we would not exceed that value. That is included in the price.
Okay, excellent. So I'll need a motion to approve the roofing to Academy Roofing of Ringe, New Hampshire in the amount of $139,750.
So moved, but I have a question.
Okay, Motion was moved by Mrs. Raymond. Mrs.
Could you just
Raymond, you have a
explain?
question?
Yes, could someone explain the walkway pads to me? And then also, the other question I had was regarding the solar. And is solar going on this portion of the roof or a different portion of the roof? I'm getting confused now.
Ken, do you want to?
I'll explain the walkway pads. So the walkway pads are, if you ever go up on the roof, you put those down in the areas that that people will be maintaining and walking. So basically, it's avoids slip trip hazards.
Do we not have those already?
Yes,
From-
several of our schools have them.
And then as far as the solar, I don't believe that work has begun yet. Sean, do you want to discuss that?
Yes, actually, I had a conversation with the solar company. They are awaiting final approval by Eversource. They expect that to be coming through fairly soon and expect to start that work in early August. And to answer Ms. Raymond's question, solar is going to cover the vast majority of the roof. And as Ken just indicated, the concrete pads are just for walkways.
Yeah, the solar material's all at the site right now behind the fence. Just awaiting the final approvals. Any other questions relative to roofing? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Okay, on the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Ken, anything else?
The final package we'll be reviewing tonight is the fire protection and sprinkler package for Fairgrounds Middle School. We received 4 bids, and we're recommending John L. Carter Sprinkler Company. They are the low bid. The total value is $82,900.00. There is an ad alternate here for a dedicated fire watch by John Carter Sprinkler Company, not the fire department. The alternate value is $22,000. If accepted, the total contract value would be $104,900.00.
I'm sure somebody's going to have a question. So would you explain what the fire, I can see it's going, what the fire watch is doing?
So the fire watch would be performed by a trained employee, competent person of John Carter Sprinkler during school hours while work is being performed.
And that is to do what? Just for the edification of the people that don't know why he's there.
It's just a, go ahead, Carl.
Work on it, we're working inside an existing school. In order to do that, you have to take the system down. So essentially, there's no sprinkler coverage while we're working on the system itself during normal school hours. So it can be covered a number of ways. One is the fire department, which probably from a cost standpoint would be a little bit higher, or much higher than what we're predicting here, or have the subcontractor have somebody totally dedicated to walking the school, making sure it's not an issue, that type of thing. The system will be put back online every night, but this is while we're working on it during the daytime.
It's basically a safety issue so that if
Correct.
anything breaks out, there's a way of being notified. Mrs. Brown.
Is that add-on in line with our original budget for this portion of the job?
Like I said earlier, the final price that we'll be giving you, our guaranteed maximum price, the way I see it right now, unless something trips us up. We've done a tremendous amount of work over the last 2 weeks. I feel comfortable we're going to be at or below the number we told you at before, and that would include this if we needed it.
Which is very good news from my standpoint.
Good news for everybody.
Yeah. Mrs. Raymond.
So this is a wet system at Fairgrounds?
That's correct.
Okay, that's all.
Mhm.
I just remember all the troubles with the dry system and want to make sure. Thank you.
Okay, so if I could get a motion to award fire protection to John L. Carter Sprinkler Company of Ringe, New Hampshire in the amount of $104,900 with the alternate one added. Mrs. Raymond made the motion.
Yes,
Any
please.
further questions? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
On the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Okay. And between meetings, in order to get things put on order so that we could have them in some reasonable amount of time, I approved the contract for doors, frames, and hardware to Merrimack Building Supply of Merrimack in the amount of $19,223.10. And I'd like a vote to agree with that. Will the clerk please call the roll?
On the motion, I have a question. What is this one for?
This, we had, Carl?
If you recall, there's a certain portion in the phasing, the first phase of this project, we're hoping to get accomplished by the end of the summertime and the start of the school year. In order to do that, based on the delivery of the documents, we're just getting to the award tonight, we had to do some preliminary work to get just those number of doors that we need for phase one pre-ordered. And that's what you signed off on. And Mr. Dow signed the recommendation. We're just bringing it to your attention and concurrence tonight.
Okay,
Yeah, that some of these things, because of what's going on in the world and the fact that there's lead times that are not necessarily conducive to our schedule, that we have to approve things quickly when they come up, and this was one of them.
okay. All right. On the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Okay, Ken or Carl, anything else on the Harvey side?
I don't have anything.
That's it for me.
All right,
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody.
Sean, I think you have nothing else, Sean?
Yes, actually, there's one other contract that you approved in between meetings.
You're on mute.
Sorry about that. I probably sounded better if you couldn't hear my voice, right? The other contract we had to award in between meetings was to Allied, who is our security contractor.
Oh, yes, yep.
And that was, again, to provide items that have a long lead time in order for us to get everything packaged together by the end of the summer and before the school year started. And that was, just pulling up the amount here. Find it. Bear with me. That was an amount of $15,264.09.
Yeah, I think that happened right after our last meeting. We had to get that stuff ordered or we wouldn't have the security stuff we needed for the start of school. So if we could have a motion to concur, or not a motion, but if we take a vote to concur with my authorizing that amount.
So moved.
Mr. Guarino?
Okay. On the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Mrs. Brown, did you have a question on something previously that you wanted to? No? Okay. All right. Anything else from, so Harvey, you're all set, right? So, comments by committee members? Any comments, questions from committee members? Sean, you're not a committee member, but I'll recognize you.
I'm sorry, we had one other item on the agenda before we get to those comments, and that was we have a single invoice.
Oh, yes, that was the change. Yeah, we get that invoice in.
Yeah, it was for to Page Street Rentals, which is for the storage trailers we have behind Fairgrounds Middle School, and that was for the whopping amount of $190.
And they are there, I can guarantee you that. We have a motion to approve the payment of the $100 to Page Rental.
So moved.
Brown. Motions, any questions on the motion? Seeing none, would clerk please call the roll?
On the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
All right, thank you. Any, again, any comments by committee members? Any questions, concerns? Do I have a motion? Nobody wants to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Mr. Guarino makes a motion to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Okay, on the motion, Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderwoman Clee,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Okay, Mr. Guarino, did you note it in the minutes that Mr. Lee from Harriman had joined us?
I did, that's right. I didn't note the time though, but I did notice that he joined us.
Just wanted to recognize that he was here.
Yep. Okay.
Appreciate that, Alderman Dowd, and
problem.
somewhere around 7:20.
All right, everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. It's thundering outside here. I don't know what it's doing where you're at, but
Same here.
stay safe.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Right.